You see, when I teach people how to lose weight, I don't teach lose weight quick schemes. I teach people how to lose weight forever. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Zyrowski, and I started my holistic health practice in order to help you take control of your health naturally. Because true health, well, it only comes naturally. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. When you look at all the reasons out there that you've gained extra unwanted weight in your past, it really comes down to just a few culprits. The first being that you just simply overate, and this happens to a lot of people. I had a friend that was very particular about the types of foods that he would eat. In fact, he would only shop at Whole Foods Market. He would never eat sugar, but the thing that was so crazy is though he was being so strict in every aspect, he struggled to lose weight. What it really came down to is he was just eating way too much food. And so if you're constantly overeating, that's a great way to gain a lot of weight. Now, if you are serious, as I am, as summer rolls around to start losing some weight, hit that thumbs up button. Now, the second root cause of weight gain is one that gets a lot of us, so we have to be really careful, and that's eating very imbalanced macros. What that means is that you're essentially eating carbohydrates as one of your main food groups. I know that for me, this was a big struggle when I started eating healthy because I grew up in a family of 8 kids, and you could imagine we ate a lot of convenience foods. Cereal for breakfast, white bread sandwiches for lunch, and typically we ate a healthier dinner, but you get the point. These are struggles that people face. They're real struggles, and that's okay. We just have to switch it around. We want to keep our carbs low, our protein moderate, and our fats higher. Now, the third major cause of weight gain, and let me tell you, it's so important to identify these, is lack of physical movement. I mean, physical movement is as vital to us as proper nutrition. But I don't want to just focus on exercise because that's not what this video is about. So let's talk about another big problem and big cause of weight gain, and that's eating junk food. You know, many of us tend to hyper-focus in certain areas. I see a lot of people hyper-focusing on sugar, for instance, saying, well, you know, if you eat that sugar, the blood sugar goes high, the insulin goes high, and therefore you store fat. Well, yes, that's all true, but there are many other ways in which this happens. So when you eat a lot of these synthetic, lab-made foods that we find in most of our products on the shelf, one of the things that can happen is it can cause a lot of gut issues. It drives massive inflammation throughout the body. And then unfortunately, this can lead to hormonal issues. And then that's where you can get some serious weight gain. So we have to make sure that we're avoiding all the junk food. Now let's think about your life for a second. Let's do a little self-analysis because I truly want to help you transform your health with this video. So I want to get your mind turning a little bit. What is it that causes you to gain weight and lose control? In fact, let's do this. Let's start a conversation down below. Comment below what it is that you struggle with. And I'll go ahead and put in the comments the areas where I struggle that cause me to gain weight. But here's the thing. It's so important. It's so important to make sure that we identify the problem, because if we don't identify what the issue is, we simply can't fix it. One more thing I want to mention before we get into these weight loss foods, because I think it's so important for your overall success. Don't overcomplicate weight loss and don't be too strict. Remember that a healthy diet is a lifestyle. It is not a 3-month punishment to your body. Focus on getting yourself healthy, and the weight loss will come as a nice byproduct of your efforts. Now let's get into the fat burning foods. And the very first one I want to talk about is a little bit different than other foods that you may have heard of. This one actually is broken down differently in the body. It goes straight to the liver and it is used as a fuel source immediately. In fact, it's actually turned into ketones so that the body can benefit greatly from it. This is MCTs, which stands for medium chain triglycerides. Now I have some research here and it shows that MCTs have tons of benefits. They, first of all, increase your metabolic rate, as several studies show. There's one study that showed that it would increase your metabolism by 5% in a 24-hour period. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but what that equates to is up to 120 calories more burned per day. And if you think about that little effort of just consuming some MCTs and you're burning those extra calories, I mean, that is a win for anybody. Now, the other thing that the research shows here is that it helps reduce hunger and that you'll get a better retention of lean muscle mass. Now, if anybody out there is serious about being healthy, and especially if you want to have a good physique and you care about what your body looks like, one of the things that you want to do is you want to maintain lean muscle mass, but also lose fat and not lose both of them at the same time. So MCTs are shown to help with that. Now, the other thing that I want to point out here, because not too many people know this, is that if you're using an MCT oil, a lot of times it causes gastrointestinal distress. In fact, for me, that is something that's a reality. And I couldn't use MCT oil for years. But what you can do to get around that is use an MCT powder, and it doesn't give you all those side effects. And so if you want to get the benefits of MCTs and you get a negative reaction from the oil, then go ahead and use a powder. And I'll put a link in the description to a powder that I use daily, because MCTs are literally so easy to incorporate into your daily life and offer so much benefit. I don't know why you wouldn't. I put them in my coffee every single morning. The next two fat burning foods on our list, I'm gonna pair together because they're both really good sources of protein. First is gonna be fatty fish, and you can think salmon here, and the other is gonna be grass-fed beef. Both of them are loaded with good healthy fats, lots of omega-3s, and the other thing that is really important when you're trying to lose weight, because this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make, is that you have to get a good amount of protein in. Too many people are skimping on the protein. I see it all the time with the ketogenic diet where people start losing their hair and not feeling well, not enough protein. In fact, I have a family member that was trying to lose weight. They were exercising hard and they were trying to intermittent fast. They were following a healthy diet, but they kept crashing. Their energy was crashing. They were feeling horrible. They couldn't sleep at night and they couldn't hold an intermittent fast. And as they were telling me this whole process, it really came down to this. You have a lack of protein in your diet. You can't skimp on the protein, and it's an important part of weight loss. Now, we can't talk about weight loss foods without bringing up this particular food, because there's so many studies that show that this food is great for weight loss. And in fact, it's so easy to make that there's no reason anybody can't do it. And that is eggs, of course. I want to start off with an 8-week study that I want to look at. What they found in this 8-week study, out of the 21 people that were monitored, is that first of all, they consumed 400 fewer calories throughout the day when eating eggs for breakfast, but they also had a 16% reduction in body fat simply by eating 3 eggs for breakfast. And that's 3 eggs, okay? That's not like, oh, they ate a half an egg. They ate 3 full eggs. That'd be very filling for anybody. They had these benefits when they consumed the eggs over kind of your standard breakfast that most people eat. You're thinking the toast, you're thinking cereal and bagels and high sugar bars and yogurt. We got to stay away from that stuff. But the other thing that's important that studies show about eggs is, well, they're high protein. And these high protein foods like this, kind of like the salmon and the grass-fed beef, it increases your metabolic rate 20 to 35% for several hours after consuming. And when we look at this whole concept, we have to understand that there's foods that will crush your metabolism, no doubt about it. And there are foods, like all the ones we're going to mention in this video, that will help build a strong and robust metabolism. The next foods that we can look to when we think of weight loss foods are going to be our healthy oils, our healthy fats. And we can start off with coconut oil. Coconut oil has been shown to increase our metabolic rate. It's also been shown to help decrease our body fat percentage. But here's the thing, is the benefits don't just stop there. If we look at other oils like olive oil, which is loaded with antioxidants, avocado oil, and even grass-fed butter, they all have tremendous benefits in terms of weight loss. Now, here's something that it's really important to remember, is that these fats are very caloric dense. When you look at carbohydrates, you're gonna get about 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates. With protein, you're gonna get about 4 calories per gram of protein. But when it comes to the fats, you're looking at 9 calories per gram of fat. So we have to make sure that we don't ever eat these in excess. But this is another important concept. When we consume more of these fats, what happens is it helps curb our appetite so we're not hungry throughout the day and helps us feel more satiated. When you think of somebody who starts the ketogenic diet, what is one of the first things that they tend to say? I don't get hungry anymore. I don't have cravings anymore. It's because they cut those carbs low and they increase good quality fats and made sure that they got adequate amounts of protein. Now, these particular weight loss foods are ones that most people ignore and just don't get enough, and that's going to be our leafy greens and our cruciferous vegetables. They are so important. If you're following the ketogenic diet, you have to eat a lot of them. A lot of people that follow the ketogenic diet eat tons of fat, but they ignore those leafy greens. Get them in. If you're trying to lose weight in general, they're so important because they're micronutrient dense. They help us feel full, very low in calories, obviously low carb, and we have to make sure that we're getting plenty in, otherwise we'll have nutrient depletion. Let's switch gears a little bit and look at something I love when it comes to weight loss because it's simple to make and it can be used as a whole meal, and that's soups. Now, soups traditionally have been used for years when it comes to weight loss. I mean, if you remember back in the day, everybody following the cabbage soup diet, there was only one problem, is it just didn't hit the right macronutrients. But today, knowing what we know, we can make sure that we add the proper amount of fats and protein and veggies. It's very filling, and the best part is you can keep it nice and low calorie as well. So we've talked about so many amazing foods that are going to help you lose weight, but now we have to have something to drink with them. So let's talk about a few drinks that you can have that are going to do the same thing, help build a strong, robust metabolism and not destroy it. Now, according to the research, we have a few options to choose from. First of all, one that has been around forever, and that's green tea. You can drink it hot in the morning, you can drink it cold in the afternoon, however you like it, but it has been really shown to boost your metabolism and offer you a lot of antioxidant benefit. You're going to get these same benefits when drinking oolong tea as well. This is something I actually like to have about mid-afternoon. It's really good if you drink it nice and cold. And then the other one on our list, and this is one that I love to break my fast with, a little bit of MCT, a little bit of collagen in it, and that's coffee. So these all really offer really great metabolism boosting benefits. Now, if you're really serious about losing weight for summer like I am, then you're gonna wanna watch this video next, and that's how to lose weight without exercise right here.